Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. This is the Essence League. We are playing with Tukohama's Totemancer for real. And we are more or less where we left off last time. We're in the submerged passage looking for the way out to the ledge. And once we do that, then of course gotta go for the Warden. Because we hear he's a very bad man. And, well, it's kind of blocking the way. People want to trade with the Act 2 town, which I don't even know actually has a name or not. I know Act 1 is Lionized Watch, Act 3 is Sarn, Act 4 is Highgate, but Act 2, is that just the village, the forest village? Curious mind now wants to know. It's the forest encampment, yeah. That's indeed not a name, that's a description. But whatever works. So the habit I've gotten into of spreading my totems out, I am actually having to unlearn it. For the simple fact that it is now pretty important to pull monsters towards the Shockwave Totem. And they will actually be pulled towards it. And also they will be taunted towards it. And then Righteous Fire burns them to a crisp. Let's see. So, no, you get your Incinerator, then you put your Shockwave behind it. So if the monsters are coming from there, then Shockwave is just gonna pull them in. Righteous Fire is gonna burn them before they get to the Shockwave. And then the Searing Bond you can just push somewhere to the front so it will burn things as they get dragged in. Especially because we have increased range on our Shockwave Totem. That works pretty well, I think. If you do it in reverse, then you might get up in a situation where your Righteous Fire is standing behind your Shockwave Totem and it's not actually burning anything, which, well, is a bit of a waste. Rapid Decay, I believe we got it at level 4 now. Yes, so once more, and then we are at the limit of what our current Dexterity can support. So alternative way to deal with things is to just put your Righteous Fire totems down, forget about Shockwave Totem for most of the times, and just murder them and move on. As in, life is too short to be concerned about tactical positioning of totems. That might, I figured this might be decent training for once you start running maps, especially the tougher maps with tougher boss fights or just tougher mechanics, where you will want to be able to use your totem mechanics to the best of their ability. And there is our waypoint. Well, we are still pretty light on stuff we found, so we don't really care. Whoosh, whoosh. More whoosh. And then we continue. Just curse them. Now the Shockwave Totem, it truly isn't all that required if you got a decent amount of range on your Righteous Fire Totem. But it will be useful against more mobile enemies. Because if you have mobs that just keep dodging out of the range of your Righteous Fire Totem, even with increased area of effect, then it is useful to taunt them and force them to come to you. I know big dispersed packs like this works pretty well. Do we still have our Decoy Totem somewhere? Yes, we do. So, for the fun of it, let's actually... Golem is going to be alive for a while. Let's switch to Decoy. Why am I completely overlooking it? There. So, for the fun of it, let's use Decoy Totem offensively, because that is actually an option because of Tukohama, Herald of War. And no, this is not secretly the Flame Totem turning into a monster's killing machine. This is Decoy Totem. Doing what Decoy Totem actually does pretty well. And that is attracting mobs to attack it, so they will suicide themselves. Yes. And that is of course because one aspect of Tukohama War's Herald. Totems reflect 80% of their maximum life as fire damage to nearby enemies when hit. And it's the interesting bit about nearby enemies. Doesn't matter how they get hit, doesn't matter who hits them. They do their damage in an AoE around themselves. So here you have now a Flame Totem it was just there to look pretty. But Kuduku is being killed by attacking Decoy Totems and getting hit in retaliation. And indeed, it's not efficient, but it is a heck of a lot of fun. Let's get back to serious business though. You. This is how I originally started the build concept. I started with a Decoy Totem and Tukohama Herald of War and the reflection damage there. And then I realized Shockwave Totem has way more range. This has a range 100 versus a range 60 on the Decoy Totem. So you reach a lot more monsters. And it does damage by itself as well. Let's see, Essence of Hatred. Well, I'll corrupt this. Oh no, they burst out. What shall we do? And we just burn them out. And we got flash monsters, of course, because of corruption. And then that was that. And we need to recast our column. But no, let's see, damage rank. The fact that we still have the Decoy Totem, it's useful. Oh, hello there, Iron Darkshroud. Goodbye, Iron Darkshroud. The totem is really useful. The Shockwave Totem, it needs to hit things in order to taunt them, and it has a 20% chance to taunt. If your life depends on actually taunting stuff, again, no thinking ahead of map bosses, things like that. Museum, for example. Oh, Museum is a really scary map. You really don't want to draw the attention of the monsters in the Museum map. So Shockwave Totem gives you a 20% chance to taunt stuff whenever it hit things. Decoy Totem has a 100% chance to taunt stuff. Less range, more chance to taunt. So that is a trade-off that you can make. Which though is just consider it to be a tool in your bag of tools. Weeping Essence of Doubts. I think someone is doubting the choices they've made in their lives, including getting frozen into an essence. It's the evasion one. I haven't really found this one all that often. Of course, not being an evasion hero, I don't really care about it either. Nor do I care about the accuracy which it grants, because I'm not a melee either. Sometimes it is nice not having to care about certain aspects of the game. Evasion being one of them. Rapid Decay is now at 66 dex requirement. Next level we can't make it because it will require more decks than what we have. So getting some decks from gear might be useful at this point. Though of course the trade-off for that is that it makes it harder to switch out of certain gear pieces if you can't get decks for it in return. That's one of the main reasons why I'm a big fan of getting core stats, especially non-native core stats. Getting those from the skill tree, because that will allow you the flexibility in terms of gearing. That's Navali's cage, but Navali is of course no longer in there because we already released her back in Act 1, back in normal difficulty even. And you give me your loot. And there is the prison. Prison, of course, we have a trial to run. Because this is the first character in this league that makes it over here.
Not even worthy of death.
So we'll make a quick town stop, empty our pockets, speak with Nessa. So currently we have an intelligence amulet, but I'm not sure if we actually need it because we already have a lot of int. There's good stats on here, but we might wanna go for something that boosts our dexterity a bit more. So let's go int and dex. Then we sell all the things that have a chromatic link. That is most of the items that I tend to pick up these days. And then we add the other items to it as well. We don't care, we don't care, we don't care. Oh, and what was this? Was this useful? Oh, that's a bunch of decks. Accuracy we don't care about. Fist attack as leeches life we don't care. Life on kill we could care less. We will lose a lot of resistances. So I don't think we're gonna use this. We'll just oh, forgot to sell that one. And we picked up another coin. You know what, we'll put everything in the sorting bin and we'll deal with it later. Coin of course means Navali. Secret Prophecy. Erased from memory.
Feared for an eon, falls and is scoured from the pages of history.
So we defeat a very powerful foe, which is Prophecy code for unique. There's a couple of uniques in here, so we're likely to run into them. Whispering Essence of Greed. Well, whispering sounds rather silent, which is annoying because that means lower tier. Level 35. And that's more or less a dead end. Okay, time to head back to the other side. Okay, let's just go here. Ooh. Look, it's physical damage reflection. Look at us not caring. Well, our Shockwave Totem might care a little bit. Because it deals partial physical damage, of course. See, there's a shrine over here. Impenetrable. That's pretty good for more defenses and stuff. Armor, evasion, energy shields. Indeed, defenses. Okay, just different types of totems doing different types of things. Turning this into a bone pit does pretty help if there's necromancers here instead. Okay, so order of business, deal with necromancers first. Then clean up the rest. Oh, some general rules still apply. First take out the summoners, then the rest will follow. If I try to do it in the other order, you might end up spending quite some time getting to the part where you actually clean up the necromancers. And there is Chatters, which is the one we want for our prophecy. Well, potentially. Apparently he was not the chosen one to give us the Orb of Scouring. So, well, next up, of course, we do have the unique Summoner. That one at some point needs to die. Then we got Brutus, the Warden, who's also considered to be very powerful. Okay, I like how this one... ow. I was gonna say, I like how this one has these time pressure, time-based things. There's no way forward. Okay, we go back. To here. Wait. Again, from here, go through there. I think I'm messing up something. Ah, it's timed, of course. That means hurry. Chop chop. That opened up the door. And then we go back. Okay, I was just being too slowpokey. Happens sometimes. You try to be careful here. Which, well, given timed cranks, makes it difficult sometimes. Okay, we go here. And then we go through. And then we murder the heck out of them. And then that's the first Ascendancy trial completed. Hey, next up, the Warden. See, we cleared most of that bit, so let's just go around here. You never really know exactly where you have to go, so might as well just pick a consistent direction and run with it. Heralds of the Obelisk. Oh, I don't like those. Yes, I'm a Totemancer, but I don't like Heralds of the Obelisk. They're effective and annoying. Lightning Warp is pretty scary. So maybe I should experiment for the fun of it with a lightning warp totem, spell totem, because then you basically have the same effect. Now if it works against me, it might work against monsters. Searing Bond went up a level. Ooh, nice. Nearly 6,000 fire damage per second. Ooh, dual essence. Wailing Essence of Loathing, Muttering Essence of Fear. So, we'll give you the special treatment. And, reflects physical damage. Boom.
A foe, feared for an eon, falls and is scoured from the pages of history.
So apparently very powerful can also refer to rares. I thought it was always the uniques. Like powerful was a rare and very powerful was a unique. Maybe it allows both, maybe I'm mistaken. Or maybe they just changed it, that's also possible. And one thing I did forget to do is cast my Flammability on the essence monsters. I really should try to get it into my system, but most monsters die fast enough that there's no need for that habit yet.
To meet its match, Brute. Give the Warden my regards.
So, no, if we have a fight that goes on for longer, probably at some point out of sheer boredom remember to cast Flammability, but it might be nicer if I get the habit down a little bit earlier. On the other hand, if it's not needed, then why make life more difficult than it needs to be? Also, one of the reasons why I was thinking about putting it on the Shockwave Totem, because then you don't have to remember it. And then you will always have the efficiency.
The frightened heart echoes from these stones.
Okay, you burn, pretty please. Bye bye.
Your spirit is the plaything of the ancestors, slave master.
So that was pretty quick. Single cast killed him. Also, there's this letter of instruction that I don't think was here before the Atlas of Worlds. So let's actually have a listen.
Dear Chevron, you have certainly had your work cut out for you with Lion Eyes Legion. Do not concern yourself with Merciless' complaints. Our Emperor is fully aware of the General's fickle nature. As to your need to accelerate the implantation process, I can recommend a quite simple alteration. Dip the gem in a boiling solution of 6 parts blood and 1 part thaumatic sulfite for no more than 13 seconds. Any longer, and you invite the crystal's wrath. Once the gem is withdrawn from the solution, you have but a few seconds to install the gem in the prepared flesh and close the wound. Should the gem cool too much prior to implantation, it will become inert, and you're patient with it. Trust in the bountiful talent of yours, Chevron. My thoughts are with you. Malachi.
So, a little bit more lore. It's nice that even after so many years, the devs keep adding things to the early game. And also, I think this is a decent place to call this an episode. We just defeated the Warden, and we're past the 20-minute mark. Now we're really stretching this episode for too long. If we were to continue now. Destroyer Regalia. It's 5 sockets but not linked, and it's not what we want. So for this episode, this was it as always. So I'm gonna thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next time when we take on Merveil herself. Bye bye.